Today we're going to check out the Lexus RX350H, and I must admit I quite like the front end. It's not got that ginormous front grille. It's kind of like, oh, we'll go like halvesies. Obviously you've got your signature triple LED headlight projector, LED DRL that's going to be running. You've got fog lights just hidden down there below, which looks nice, but I can't quite decide. I like it, but then it looks a bit snub-nosy. Not too sure. I like it overall. I think the color looks nice. Like I say, it really showcases like that bulged out front end on the hood. Unfortunately, faux air intakes on the side. Looks nice, obviously, with the baby number plate. Don't know where you would mount it otherwise. Heading on to the side, you've got chrome accents along here, chrome accents along the bottom. This is the platinum trim, so that's why you get all the chrome accents and everything that's there. Rims are 21 inches. I love, like I say, that signature Lexus multi-spoke design. Side profile, you've obviously got like that slope back design with the chrome accent there that looks very nice as well. I think proportionally it looks nice. It's a good size. It's not as big as obviously the LX, the Mac Daddy that we've had for test drive. It sits in a nice sort of X3, X5 mid-size SUV overall. Really nice design here on the side of the tail light, and no surprise, gorgeous wraparound full LED tail lights. Looks really nice. Let's have a look on the front. Obviously your tri LED and DRL signature, and then you've got the fog lights down there. Like I say, lighting and everything is really great in that aspect as well. Alrighty, let's check out the boot space. So obviously Lexus power lift tailgate, and heading on inside, you've got the storage, divider, blinder. On this side will be your Mark Levinson subwoofer behind there. You've got a nice little grocery bag holder. You've got a 12-volt cigarette lighter socket, and the seats are powered for reclining. So your Lexus is practical. Get an idea there. So yeah, great access, nice and easy in that regard. Power lift. You've obviously got the kick mechanism. Let's check out the back seats. Interesting thing on the door handles, I just want to mention, the door handles actually they're fixed to the body. They don't pop out like normal, and you have a little button that you press. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I guess fair. And unfortunately, no soft close doors, but c'est la vie. The nice thing, I must admit, I noticed on several other vehicles lately, one of those things with Chinese vehicles is, look, you can literally lock it right here and walk away, happy days. You can unlock it from here, happy days. So it's just one of those like convenience features. Why would I want to necessarily have to go here, grab the handle, unlock the door to be able to then get into the back of the vehicle? No, Lexus, we put it on all of the doors, right? We can just go bam, lock, walk away from the vehicle, happy days. So that's one feature that I really like. It's not something you think much about, but that's how you cut costs as a manufacturer at the end of the day and make a vehicle cheaper. If you don't care about that, that's great. This was the main piece de la résistance, as they say. Look at this material. It's like beautiful microfiber, suede, but like really hairy, should I say? I actually really like that. Mark Levinson sound system, 21 speakers. You've got unlock and lock from the back. So this kind of gives me that, you know, chauffeur driven, but I want to be inconspicuous or a little bit less common as a, you know, ES model, let's say, for example. One obviously a bit more higher ground clearance, you know, some light off-road, you know, terrain as such. But like the seat has a recline button. You can literally recline the seat an additional amount, which is really nice. The seats, like I said, this gorgeous, it's like, I don't even know what you call it. It's micro suede material. And then obviously perforated leather. Why is it perforated? Let me just get in. Voila! It's perforated because you have climate control seats, heated seats, 2 Type-C ports, dual AC vents, nice for both passengers to keep cool. And then, yeah, so you've got this rear entertainment screens, one for each passenger in the back, which is really cool. HDMI input, which is actually located right there on the bottom. You've got HDMI, you've also got a USB-A, and I presume a headphone jack, so you can plug headphones in. But yeah, if we go over to HDMI as an example. Oh, look at that. Let's check out one of the other videos on Tbreak.com, Lexus LX600. Only thing that's a little bit weird is obviously with the aspect ratio being so widescreen, media in comparison, you know, doesn't fill the screen, but pretty cool in that regard. So seats, as I mentioned, really like super comfortable. You've got literally so much base on the seat. There's no, you know, battery keeping things high or reducing space. I'm sat literally behind myself. Ridiculous amounts of leg room in that regard. But the seats is gorgeous. Perforated, obviously mentioned, ventilated seats in the back, which is really cool. And then you've got an armrest, little storage bin. You've got your cup holder, and I mentioned you can recline the seat. So even more, obviously that's maximum recline button. And if you want to be uber upright, you can also be uber upright as well. Let's recline that. The other thing I wanted to go over is you have seat controls here as well. So you can literally say, no front passenger. Let's push that seat all the way forward. Let's increase the back. And look at like the ridiculous amount of leg room. Like, let me scooch over. Like, oof, ridiculous. So, I mean, I am uber comfortable sitting in the back, especially with the seat. Oh, maximum reclinage. Obviously got your privacy screens here as well. Just if I can unclip nicely. So yeah, a little bit more privacy if you want. Clip, lock on, happy days. And then yeah, beautiful interior. So I feel very like chauffeur driven if you want, but like I say, to be undercover. And then you've got a ginormous panoramic sunroof. I will also show you that. But yeah, let's jump on into the front seat. So yeah, once again, super pleasant experience. Great place to be in. It's a Lexus at the end of the day. Leather wrapped steering wheel. Like I say, that trim on the front. I love this. I don't know. It just looks really stunning. The detail, it's super unique, really nice. But yeah, you've got sort of slightly driver orientated cockpit, which looks cool. You've got your seat setting here, obviously not to mess up the design theory here. Remote for you don't have to go down here like a peasant. You've got your fuel cap and your trunk release, which is there as well. Obviously all of your controls, auto folding mirrors. And then we come to the instrument cluster. I think this looks to be about an 8-inch display. Obviously here on the steering wheel you can adjust what do you want to be shown. Display, yeah, average speed, your fuel economy, G meter if you're driving that aggressive radio, and then you've obviously got your EV driving ratio, and then you have analog temperature and your fuel tank level as well. So that's sort of your instrument cluster, not too complicated. The best bit, which I want to just zoom in here to show you, is the heads-up display. So the heads-up display to me is super bright, and if I'm just hovering my finger over the left side of the D-pad, I'm literally just going like this. I'm not actually pushing any of the buttons, I'm just literally holding my finger. I think this is a super intriguing design overall, because obviously you'll get used to where are the buttons, but by displaying on the heads-up display itself where your finger is, so I'm on the left, I'm on answer the phone call, but I haven't actually pushed it. So I can now click on the bottom and say, okay, flip, gives me the different options. I can change the audio, change the mode, volume, same thing. So I'm just holding my finger, and then when you push it, it actually then does what you're wanting to do. And the same thing on the other side as well. So now I'm on the right joystick. I have the option of changing the display. So I guess this is great from a safety feature standpoint, because you're not taking your eyes, off the road at the end of the day. Your eyes are permanently fixed on the road. So I really actually quite like that. You've got obviously your lane keep, whether you want it on and off. You've also got your adaptive cruise control, whether you want that on or off. You can adjust it from there. Change the display. You can adjust the position of where you want it on the screen as well, like super high. I kind of want it in my lower peripheral, which is kind of there. But yeah, I think the heads-up display in this is like really, really nice. I haven't seen that whole capacitive thing on the buttons, which is really cool. Anyway, continuing on, you have a 14-inch infotainment screen. Obviously the same as what we've seen on the LX600. You've got CarPlay here, obviously connected. You've got your maps, quite snappy, like really snappy. I'm like, this new infotainment system is really, really great in all regards. Obviously all your sources, DAB, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless of course. Switch over to that. Let's go back, and then your car, a bazillion settings obviously that you can go through. Drive mode select. I would like to say we'll get to the drive portion, but from a tuning standpoint, if you go into custom, you have powertrain, suspension, steering, and the air conditioning. Now if you remember on the LX, if you haven't seen our LX600 video, it'll be on the pop-out banner here. Go check that out, because like I say, you have sport, normal, comfort. You had obviously it has hydraulic suspension, so it's height adjustable. I felt having the comfort mode, I would like a comfort mode to the suspension to be even softer than what it actually is. But we'll get back to that when it comes to the drive. Then you've got more settings. Got your drive assist, your seat controls. Obviously you've got climate concierge, so if you have it in auto, you adjust your temperature here and it will do heating, ventilated, same sort of system as I understand it. Climate concierge, fantastic. That's really, really cool. I love climate concierge. It works amazing in that sense. And then you got your settings, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, display. I won't ramble on. Everything is possibly there that you could want to get into. And I'm pretty sure you should be able to, if we go to, let's say, navigation, can we swipe? Yeah, so you can switch frequently used, obviously max cool, if you want to silent the car, driver mode, whether you want the HUD on or off, your rear camera detection. So I'm sure you can change these frequently used as well. You can switch between the different drive modes also, your lane departure, all this. I mean, you name it, safety features is definitely abundant in that regard. And then heading on down, you've got obviously your AC vents control. Interestingly, I mean, you can't do anything about it, but like I say, they're a bit low in my book. And then you have 360 physical, fantastic, your camera button. I will just show you what that looks like when we put it into drive. So obviously top down 360, obviously with your positioning, trajectory, whatever that you're going over. I love it for the fact low speed driving, it automatically just turns on and you literally can see everything around you. Obviously different views. If you want trajectory on or off, you can switch between that. If you don't want a fisheye, you want 360, you can switch between all of that. And folks, it has got parking assistant. So this car will do parallel as well as, it'll do both this as well as this parking, which is cool if you're not so confident in that regard. And obviously being a hybrid, it can run in EV mode as well as the 2.4 liter petrol. Anyway, back here, you've got nice little storage bin for your phone if you want. 2 Type-C ports. If you open this up, you have an additional Type-C port, a Type-A port, even more sort of area, as well as your wireless charger. Like this, folks, this is build quality. Like, it's nice, it's smooth. Look at that, nice soft close. Like, this is Lexus at the end of the day, in my opinion. This is what you're paying for as such. Cup holders, 2 of them. You have, like, it adjusts, so if you can see that. So if you have a short cup or you have a deeper cup, you can push it down, it's a bit deeper. Pretty cool. Now this is your drive mode stuff. There's no drive selector for like normal, comfort, sport or whatnot, but that's pretty easy enough. You can just literally go there, swipe across. Okay, yeah, you don't have a button, but like I say, it's a set and forget in my mind. Electronic park brake, if you're driving a little bit off-road, traction control button, and then auto hold to obviously hold the brake for you when you're at the traffic lights. Same gear shifter that you found in the Lexus UX. I mean, you might like it, dislike it. For me, it's great, it's compact, you get used to it. It's literally up to the left for reverse, and down is neutral, and across and down is drive. And then if you go straight down, it's gonna switch into sports mode. And then when you're done, you just hit park. So you get used to it, literally 2 hours, you're done. The glove box, or sorry, the center console is quite deep. Sorry about all the rubbish, but yeah, pretty deep in that regard. And classic Lexus, folks. Oh, the passenger wants to get in, bam, it opens up on both sides. Really nice. Glove box, very decent size. And yeah, that's pretty much the interior. But highlight is definitely, like I say, the finish on the seats. These are super comfortable. It wasn't a case of like 2 minutes after jumping in, I'm like, wow, really comfortable. I love sort of the wraparound feature. Obviously it comes across here. That looks really nice. And your rear view mirror, traditional analog, bam, same level of adjustment. You can increase the FOV, tilt, etc. And then you've got your panoramic sunroof, which is pretty huge. So want to allow more light in, really nice in that regard. One interesting as well design, let me show you on this side. So you're like, how does the door handle function? So you literally, you know, put your hand like this and you just push the button, bam, the door opens. But this is electronically controlled. So just like, let's say a Tesla, for example, you have the button to unlock the door. What about if, God forbid, you're in an accident or the battery dies, how do you get out? So here is the door handle. You can pull this twice and that will manually override the door so you can get out. So maybe good little thing to tell your passengers in case they're wondering, or if you get into any sort of issues. But yeah, gorgeous, like I say. Overall material, really, really nice. I think we should get on to the best part, which is going to be the drive, and we can get into more details. So let's get on to the drive portion with the RX350. First of all, love the ergonomics, seating position, everything is fantastic in that regard. Classic Lexus, everything is at arm's reach, and I really love that. Cameras, as you can see, when you just come to a slow position, you've got overview 360. It actually shows you the terrain underneath, which is really, really cool. So if something's in the road, you're doing a little bit of off-roading, you can avoid it. But if you're trying to park in a tight space, it's great for sort of depicting where basically your curb is and everything, so you won't scratch the rims, which is nice. Front camera, ultra high resolution, really, really fantastic camera system. I can't fault it in that aspect. One little thing is, like, let's say you're wanting to enter a destination, as you can see here. So I'm going a little bit, okay, I want to get to CarPlay, I'm trying to find a spot. The camera comes up. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but it's something I got used to in the past couple of days, which is fair. Now, we're going to get to that infamous spot I was telling you all about on pretty much every single video when it comes to testing out the ride and suspension and compliance and everything. JVC is fantastic for that aspect, and I always recommend, if you want to look at a vehicle or test it on a route which you already know how the road is, you have a point of reference to compare it to if you're interested in. Drive-wise, like I say, past few days, I feel the suspension, I'd love a comfort mode. It has, like I say, if you swap over, you can't adjust, you can switch to sports mode, but if you want to do the actual adjustments, we've got to go back here to Lexus, then go to car, vehicle, and then we go to drive modes. And like I said, you've got normal, sport, eco, and if you go into custom, let's get rid of the camera. If we go into custom, then you can basically adjust the suspension from normal and sport. I would love if there was a comfort mode. I feel overall you're getting that Lexus driving standpoint, super comfortable, really, really compliant. But if you have to say, is it softer or harder? I would say it's a bit harder overall than the UX that we reviewed, which you can check out here. I hope I'm doing that right. And then the Lexus LX, no comparison. I mean, you have the hydraulic suspension, you've got 5 different modes of suspension height adjustment, super, super comfortable, sporty, it's ridiculous. This kind of sits a little bit less than that, obviously size-wise, a little bit more city-friendly, more reasonable size overall. But yeah, I would say a little bit more comfortable would be ideal if you wanted more of a Lexus sort of feeling as such. Love the AC controls. I don't think I mentioned them earlier. I first saw them, I think, on the Range Rover Velar. I think they were the first to introduce sort of the display where you can adjust the AC temperature, and it's on the screen. So you've got physical buttons for the AC control, physical for the radio. Danesh would be super happy. Hazard light button placement is bam, it's no stretching, it's right there in the middle. Let me move to the right lane. This is the section of road that I'm referring to. So you've got a couple of speed humps, you've got a couple of potholes. Unfortunately, this poor guy with a Renault Koleos has had a better time. But yeah, so nice, smooth. So yeah, this is the section. So really, really terrible, super bouncy. Got a bit of a dip here. So you know that it's there, but it isn't annihilating. This is pretty good overall. LX 600 probably would be a little bit better, but more than the UX. So it kind of fits suspension wise. So specs wise for the engine, you've got a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder with a hybrid system as well mounted to it. It's got a CVT gearbox, unfortunately, but that helps with fuel economy and overall smoothness of driving. But yeah, back to the motor. 246 horsepower, 313 Newton meters of torque. I think this is more than sufficient for the vehicle, the size, the power, the pickup. It sounds a little bit rough, or the engine doesn't sound very Lexus smooth, soundproofed, etc. CVT. So it doesn't sound the best, but again, you're not going to be driving it as such. Heads-up display, awesome heads-up display. Like I say, I mentioned you've got, like I say, all these little capacitive touch elements, and then it displays you're not distracted, you don't have to look down, take your eyes off the road, so super safe in that regard. And like I say, the steering and stuff, it's weighted to me, it's in sports mode, that's why. But you can't adjust the settings. So if we go back to drive mode, we want it in normal. Overall, this gives you like that sportier feeling, but like I say, I don't think it is associated as being so sporty, or it shouldn't be associated as being so sport. But yeah, material wise, sound system I mentioned is great, ergonomics is fantastic overall. It does a reasonable job from like a NVH, noise, vehicle harshness, all of that stuff. You don't have so much road noise coming back, trucks passing you and things like that, but obviously have the Mark Levinson sound system, which is great in that regard. Let's show you guys obviously safety features. We're going to engage lane keep assist or lane trace assist is now on, and now I'm going to change lane to the right. It's going to increase speed. The bike came in front. It has a little thing, but it wasn't like most cruise control systems that's there where it's like, oh, there's something in front of you, I'm going to slam on the brakes and be, you know, super uncomfortable in that regard. It's now accelerating up until the back of this bus. Nice and gentle. Take it forward, apply a little bit of brakes. Nice and smooth. So like the cruise control system and everything is really smooth in that regard, which I really like. I've been doing combination of highway, city, etc. driving, more so his city driving than highway driving, and I got about 14 kilometers per liter. For you old school folk out there, that works out to about 7.1 liters per 100 kilometers. So for the size of vehicle that it is, for the kind of driving I've been doing overall, I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good, and that's comes back to, like I say, if you want something SUV with a hybrid system, say no more. And I'm sticking with my guns here. This trim way more suited than the F Sport, and actually from what I looked online, they aren't even, Lexus is not even offering the F Sport variant in the RX model, which I think shouldn't be the case. I mean, yes, I know a lot of people want that F Sport trim and they like all of that, but come on, micro suede. Look at how beautiful this interior is. You've got this chocolatey color. I'd probably go with a more lighter color overall. Another bump coming up. Yes, there was a little bump there, but don't worry, we'll soak it up. Super compliant, really good in that aspect. Like I say, low speed driving, plenty of boot. Obviously having the hybrid drivetrain, you put your foot down, it's got plenty of overtaking power and everything like that. Throttle everything, easy to modulate. Really nice overall. I love, like I say, ergonomics from the screen. You have climate concierge, we went over that as well. This I would presume it fits, if you're going to be comparing it basically to any other vehicles in its segment, X3, X5, XC60, XC90, something along those lines. GLC, GLE. Again, do your due diligence, a little bit of research. How much does servicing cost? What's the warranty package offered? See, Cross warned me there was the Audi coming up in the lane. So all of your safety features that you can imagine. But yeah, back to the price. So in this current configuration, RX350H, it's got the screens in the back, it's got the rims, all of that stuff. It seems as though there is only, I think it's Platinum or Prestige is the model. There's only one option, and the one option will cost you 325,000 dirhams, which again, in this day and age price point of vehicles, it's probably quite competitive for what it is. And yeah, that's pretty much the RX overall. So you can do parallel and perpendicular parking. Choose your space. So let's say, do you want to reverse park, or even if you want to front park? That is actually really cool. I haven't actually seen an option for you to say, do you want to park reverse? It even gives you a little image of how you're going to look as well parked, which is cool. Let's say we want to go in that space instead. Happy days, we've selected parallel, and we want to reverse park. Cool beans. And then let's hit start. Release brake to move. I release the brake. The motorbike is coming. I'm going to stop for him. Cool. Will it continue? It does continue, so that's great in that aspect as well. Then it's going to go into reverse automatically. Backing up. Nice trajectory. 3D view overhead as well, which is very cool. Fantastic. So if you're a little bit concerned, you're looking for a new car, you want to get into that Lexus experience, new driver, look at that. Perfect, on the money, parked in the middle. That's guys, that's how you park. That is how you park. Look at how fantastic that is. That was just one other thing, like I say, I forgot to mention earlier. If you do like the channel, if you want more details, I also forgot to mention wireless CarPlay, Android Auto. I think I did that on the interior bit already. Once again, Lexus RX. I'm a huge fan of the brand. It's one of those things, just drive it. It just does everything for you, does it right, ergonomically, everything just works. Yeah, if you like this kind of content, you like the view, you don't like the view, let us know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.